Add viewers. Invite. B.
How that sound, Dr.
That
White?
sounds wonderful. That's wonderful. All right, we're gonna get this going. All right, so we're gonna let people
All
come
right, let's
in.
do it.
All right, everybody, come back in, come back in, come back in. We getting this party started. Got the sound fixed. I'm sorry, my bad. Y'all know how stuff goes. But this is a discussion that needed to be had. So by all means, get everybody in here, share the video, get everybody in, get everybody back in here. We ready to go. The live only lets two people at a time. So we're going to have the discussion with Billy, Lieutenant Billy Boyd, a good fine officer in the state of North Carolina, and a former college mate of mine from Charleston Southern University. But we're going to talk about the incident from in Minneapolis, Minnesota, about what happened. I'm sure by now a lot of people, what's up, Billy? A lot of people have seen the video that I posted. If you haven't seen it, you've probably seen it on the news, about the unfortunate incident of police brutality of the African American male who was, pretty much murdered in the street after being arrested. So, I wanted to have a discussion about what's going on because usually I kind of sit on the sidelines, when it's trending, social media, Facebook, Instagram. Billy, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. And,
Oh yeah.
I just let people talk, but I couldn't deny what I saw in this video, and I thought it was important to again have an open discussion with two police professionals who can kind of give us some insight about why this keeps happening and what can be done. So everybody, get everybody back in here. Come on back in, come on back in, come on back in. We got the sound worked out. Thank you for being patient with me. So we just got Billy right now, but we'll try to get Antonio later. But get everybody, come on back in, come on back in. We got 18 people, get some more. Like and share with your friends. All those Black mothers and Black fathers that I've talked to and I've had discussions with about being scared about what may happen to their children when they go out. I think this is a discussion that tonight you'll be able to hopefully get some words of encouragement, some advice from an actual professional about what's going on. All right, so I see everybody coming in. Joy just shared the video. Thank you, Joy. All right, so we're back. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. Billy, I'll let you kind of introduce yourself before we get the discussion going.
Well, my name is Billy Boyd. I'm a police officer in North Carolina. I started my career at a HBCU, North Carolina Central University, where I did, almost 14 years. Then I transitioned over to hospital police in UNC, and I am the training coordinator. So this is, right up, my alley when we talk about situations like this. I'm responsible for the officers' training, both police and security. So, some of them probably think I just sit at my desk all day, but I do research on different trainings that will help my officers in any situation they come up with. So when I looked at this video, I started trending. I'm like, I see stuff trending all the time, and I'm like, I have to dissect everything before I speak about it. But then when I seen it, I'm like, the end didn't. And what I saw from the video, and I know people like, well, don't money want a quarterback and this and that. That's no training that an officer receives. I think that's just one of those things where got pissed him off, got the best of him, and then he reacted because even in a situation like that where we train, if you have to, what I say, hold their head down or anything, after you get them down, you have more officers out there. You got to learn how to transition to, another hold. I can keep, any questions, I can keep talking about it because as I saw, 4 officers was fired, correct?
Yeah, 4 of them.
Okay, now let's Monday morning quarterback from that scene. You got 4 officers on scene. Now you have what they call a contact officer and a cover officer. Two of them, once he was down, they could until EMS or whoever the paddy wagon, whoever arrived, one could have had their feet, one could have had what we call, like I said, I'm responsible for finding training for my officers, so we do something called the backpack and half backpack. It's a technique that we hired a company called Regional Proving Grounds that teaches us, how to transition once you get him on the ground. Once you probably had to fight with him, but once you get him to where he's calm and you got him, you got to transition into a safer and more effective hold. So you also, they out there in the street. So the other 2 officers, I think they should have been, the cover officers. They keeping the crowd away, and because you're going, come on now, I'm in a profession where, people want footage, people want Facebook hits, people want IG hits. So a crowd's gonna come. So for officer safety, you got to have cover officers. So I'm guessing, this is me, I'm guessing that all 4 got fired because we only see 1 officer applying pressure to the back of the neck. I can bet you any amount of money that the reason why they got fired is because they just sat there.
Mm. They
didn't assess the scene. And it been times, Thomas. You know me since college. Billy can turn it up a little bit and he can go in his little mode. But we all adults now. I'll be 40 in June. You live and learn. But on that note, it have been times where when I was a lieutenant at North Carolina Central, I used to tell my squad in briefing, y'all know we have what we call the tap out method. Even if I'm getting a little out of hand, tap me out, send me back, and let another officer come in and handle the situation with a cool and calm mind. In that situation, that's why I think everybody got fired, because it's you looking at it, the guy, no way he was halfway peeing in a car. So I think it just raised questions, man. It just raised questions of, I know these officers, are getting training. I know these officers, me as a training coordinator, that's something I strive on. That's something that's, at my agency, we had LGBTQ training.
Yeah.
We had diversity training. You don't just deal with African Americans, Caucasians, you deal with the Hispanic population. You deal with everybody. So I just think that, man, he didn't use judgment, and the guy pissed him off, and here we are with another rest in peace post, and this stuff got to stop, bro. It gotta stop.
Yeah. So how do we make that stop, Billy? What as people on the other side of the police officers, the ones that are, we have to go to the police officers, call them, or, be at their mercy if a situation arises. What do we do? What do, in a situation where someone gets stopped, where they're fearing for their life, what do we do to ensure that we stay safe, or, prevent a situation where we end up in police brutality? What do we do?
Thomas, I wish that I can say, because in some videos, they was following the officer's commands and end up no longer here.
Yeah.
I strongly say to people, I tell people all the time, one thing about, I can speak for our community, we don't report stuff. If you feel like you have been falsely stopped, even arrested, file a complaint. But we file a complaint and we don't keep, going for the follow up.
Yeah.
And I can say sometimes something may happen, some may don't. I mean, it is, but far as like getting stopped by the police and the proper things, man, I have seen citizens do the proper things that we were taught, and I just think it's that officer's mindset that day. I just think it's that he could have been had this officer, you know, or any officer that we see in the news that just had a, a mess up. I don't want to curse. A mess up. If you're taking people's lives. I mean, we do a lot of training. We do. I have been in situations where, you know, I had to go talk to somebody afterwards.
Yeah.
I mean, and you know, after, you know, we always as police officers want to say that, you know, we have problems too.
Yeah.
We go through marriage issues, kid issues, and this, and we don't talk to nobody.
Yeah.
So we have a job that we can, hey, take somebody's freedom and push come to shove. You know, that's a situation, somebody's life. So, I mean, some of these officers ain't seeking the help they need. Some of these officers are just. I gotta say, for North Carolina, I'm speaking for North Carolina. We have really training. We have in-service training where people. I don't care if you're at Charlotte Mecklenburg PD, Durham Police Department. You can go out there to Duck or UNC or whatever. Everybody takes the same training. We have legal updates. So we see right now we got one for this year. It's called Career Survival Training and Standards Issues. It's telling you what other people doing, not just across the nation, but North Carolina. I just think we just need to reevaluate some of the officers that we get in our profession, because you know, I love being law enforcement. You knew that since I was in college. You know, you asked me what I want to be police.
Yeah. I remember.
It wasn't nothing else. Yeah. It wasn't nothing else. But it hurts me to see my profession. You know, we could do 100 things good, but one officer that's in Minneapolis makes it bad for officers all across the world.
Yeah.
And back to your question, not diverting from it, but I can say, hey, when you get pulled over, listen to the officer's commands, this, and that. It don't work out like that sometimes.
That's an honest answer. I think that's because I think, you know, we want you as a police officer to have the magic answer, and that's human. That's real talk.
Yeah.
You know, you're speaking that you all get this training, and that is not normal for somebody, you know, for that incident to happen. And I think that's only human for you to say that, you know, I don't have a clear number one answer for the end all be all. You know, it could be a multitude of things as far as why these things keep happening and how to stop it. You know, so I think that's real talk on what you said. You know, I think we hear a lot about it's a racial thing. You know, and again, when you have a situation where have you ever seen a situation where there are black cops doing this same thing to African American males, or are there just incidents of a situation where you just have a white cop with an African American unfairly treating an African American male in an arrest situation? Like, what do you see in your line of work?
You know, for me, you know, when I was on patrol and over squad, I was at HBCU, so the majority of the clients that we dealt with was African American students and some of the neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Have I seen? I haven't seen it per se that go over the top with it, because if I was there, I don't care what I would say something, because I'm sorry, I can't lose my job for somebody, you know, mistake.
Yeah.
You know, so I can say this though, Dr. White. One thing I do see though is in our culture, we don't make the police look fun, a fun profession. We don't. Man, I lost more friends if I thought I was the police than anything else. You know, and the crazy thing about it is I teach at a community college.
Yeah.
I teach PT at a community college, BLET. Let's take that for example. It's every year people ask me and they argue with me why they only graduating 3 or 4 African Americans in BLET. I'm like, that's not many, that's the point. Because I mean, let's call it a spade a spade. Let's call it what it is. when I was growing up, people was like, man, why you want to be the policeman? You want to be a snitch. You want to be other words. You don't want to be this and that. But I'm like, well, we have problems in our community. Let me be part of the solution. I mean, let me be part of. That's why everybody at Central used to call me the cool cop. It wasn't that I was cool. I was fair.
Yeah.
I understood it. I mean, it's times where, hey, you got to follow the letter of the law. You got to. But it's other times you just got to have discretion. You got to have what's best interest. I had a motto. Mine was, it's not how many people you arrest, it's how many people you help. That's why I got in it, because some police officers like Porter Johnson, back home, Maurice Jones, they was the first that introduced me to college. They was the first that introduced me to life outside of Loris, of where, okay, wow, I could be the police and do this. I remember Porter Johnson telling me this, God rest his soul.
Yeah.
He said, I call him Uncle Porter. I said, Uncle Porter, how can you be the police? And you grew up with everybody. He said, people know when they're doing right from wrong. It's how you treat them.
Yeah.
It's how you treat them. He said, people know my address. People know I live in Flowery Patch. People know this. And so it was like one of those things where I said, okay, when I become a police officer, I'm not going to use this badge to be big and mighty. I'm not going to use this badge to say that I'm Mr. Tough Guy, I'm this, I'm that. I got police officers at Durham PD, Charlotte, Mecklenburg, DC, all over. And it's the same thing. And, they were like, man, we need to recruit more minorities. We need to recruit more, because sometimes, I look at it like this. This is me. This is Billy Boy's opinion.
Yeah.
I think that the area, if it's predominantly black, you should have the majority black officers. If you can, but that's in a realistic world. That's just what I feel, because you can relate. I can answer calls in Beverly Hills,
yeah,
but I can't relate to nobody. I get a 911 call for a poodle using the bathroom in my yard.
Yeah.
I mean, but I can relate to some calls where, okay, it's in my community because I dealt with it. I mean, I see some people. Hold on, I see some people making some comments.
Yeah, they had questions. I want to make sure you got a chance to finish your point. But yeah, people.
Go ahead.
So you want to go ahead and get some questions?
Yeah.
All right. So I think one of the first questions was from Mr. Billy Jones, a good friend of mine who I went to high school with. He asked, was there a nationwide standardized training that you all take that applies to all police officers countrywide?
Not each state has their own training and standards. Like I could say for North Carolina, our training standards is very, 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 rigorous. We have great topics. We can go to the Justice Academy in Sellenberg, Eddyville, and take training with everybody. But it's based the same model. It should be based everywhere. I was never taught to put my knee on nobody's neck.
Okay.
I was never taught that.
So
I can say
that is not. So we can say that's not training. That's not something police officers are supposed to do.
Dude, I don't know. That's not. I was never. Now, like I said, this company that we hired, we just freshly, took it for our department, Regional Proving Grounds. Dr. Eric Preddy, he came up with the concept, and his lead instructor, Mac McCarrio, they police officers, so they understand we got CIT patients, that we have crisis intervention patients, we have people that is not 100% there.
Yeah.
So we have to different techniques. I work in a hospital. Certain stuff that we can do, it's a whole different training that we have to do on our patients, especially our psych patients. So it's no like now. Let's keep it 100. Let's keep it 100. I have heard older officers back in the day who's no longer. If they can breathe, if they can talk, they can breathe.
Yeah. Oh wow.
I have heard. I have heard that before.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, no, that's just what it is. And you get those things. And I think one thing that I tell my cadets, I say, look, y'all, the days of chasing them war stories is over. The days of you being a laptop cop, stop it.
Yeah.
A laptop cop is you sitting in your car on that laptop, just waiting for a call or running tags, but you're not getting out in the community to find out, okay, this guy that, okay, hey sir, how you doing? What's your name?
Yeah.
And find out that you Dr. White. Find out that you got, some PhDs behind your name. And it's not for one, a lot of people who is not invested in the community. So you don't have situations.
Yeah.
You don't have things that they just come, okay, this is another job. But if you live in this community, you go, okay, let me Mike Brown situation. They talked to Ferguson. If they would have known, okay, who Mike Brown was or this and that, they just got to get out the cars, man. And I'm not saying this. I'm not bashing. I love my profession. I'm 100% thin blue. I love my profession, but at the end of the day, I'm a black male in America. I have 2 black boys. I'm an uncle. Have I been stopped? I have been stopped unfairly. I mean,
Okay.
luckily.
Okay, so let's talk about it, Billy. So again, in the situation when you've been stopped unfairly as a police officer, how did you handle it?
Well, see, my wife, when I get stopped with my wife,
Yeah.
she be like, Billy, cut it out, because I test you. I test you. She be like, but when I'm in the car with her, she be like, Billy, don't go there, because I'm like, certain things I see. Oh man, he getting out his car wrong. He doing this, and I mean that's just the training. I mean the training I had. I'm blessed to have the training I had from great instructors like Bonsai, Robert McLaughlin, Al White, Charles Simpson,
Yeah.
Stephen Jacobs, like guys like that. Taught me like, okay, because I came out, hot head. So when I see him, and I'm like, if I see it turning ugly, I show my badge. I ain't gonna lie, I show my badge.
Oh, wow.
Because my first thing is I let them know I do have a weapon in the car, and I say my off-duty weapon. I am a police officer. It's located so and so, so and so, so and so. I mean, and like I tell some citizens, they ask me, I was like, keep your license, don't reach for nothing, keep it above the sun, keep it above the visors. If it's nighttime, cut on all the lights in there so people can see. Cut off the car.
Yeah.
Cut off the car. Officers don't know what's in your car. And I've been in situations where I'm like, I ain't posting this car unless somebody else coming to back me up. And it's not saying that I'm scared, I'm this and that. It's just common sense. I need to cover officers.
Yeah.
I mean, I was just blessed to be in Durham where we have, police officers available to me, but some officers, like my homeboy, he's a trooper. When he's out there by himself and his nearest backup 30 miles, he has to be quick on his feet. So a sudden move will probably, get you, a sudden move, he probably taser shoot you, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, or back up or retreat. I mean, but see, but I have been stopped numerous times, especially in South Carolina.
So in the situation where you flash your badge when you realize, either you don't want to deal with it or it's about, it may be about to get out of hand. Do you report that situation to their superiors, like, or because I know you gave the advice to people watching that they should report the incidents and keep reporting, keep taking it up the ladder as much as possible. But in a situation when you've been there, do you ever report it?
I have reported one when I was a police and one when I was a non-police officer. And I can tell you a quick story, make a long story short. When I graduated high school, the church gave me some money and I went to buy school, Charleston Southern give you a little school list, what you might need.
Yeah.
Me and my friend Eric Cox, he took me to Myrtle Beach to get school supplies. And we in there looking at stuff. Back then, that's when those big, the big black jackets, the bomber jackets with the orange lining was popular.
Yeah, I remember that.
Eric had one of them on.
Yeah.
So we in the shop, and I'm like, I got to get this, and this. Man, all of a sudden, and granted, let me rewind that. I was the Horry County Police Explorer. I was in the Police Explorer program from ninth grade all the way to my senior year. So I saw one of the police officers that I'm like, why is he following us? I looked at my boy Eric. I'm like, hey, dog, you stole something. You know, he was like, nah, man, it's nah. So we got our stuff, make a long story short, we went out and we checked out. We walked outside. Horry County Myrtle Beach Police was all on us. And one of them had his gun, what I call low ready.
Yeah.
Low ready is he had a point to it, but he had it down. He was like, hey, freeze. Like, we looked around thinking there's somebody behind us. We're like, man, we about to see some action. They was like, no, you two freeze. And we were like, so as all these police officers started coming in at us, I'm like, I know some of y'all. Some of y'all see me around the police station. Some of y'all see me that I used to, like my godbrother Maurice Jones was deputy chief. So I'm looking at these guys like they know me. Like what the hell going on? So Eric, my boy Eric, anybody know my boy Eric on this? He talking smack. He talking because we know what he's doing.
Yeah.
Talking smack. So we heard on the radio that they got the two suspects, two Hispanic suspects. One of them did have on his shirt like Eric. I'm gonna be honest, Eric. Me and Eric, same complexion. I had a little hair then. They and we like Hispanic stuff, you know. So I reported it. I reported it to Maurice. Maurice called. He checked this, but they called him because they knew. They called him first. Hey, we had a little situation with Billy, but no one spoke up on my behalf. Like, this is a good kid. This ain't. But I'll make a long story short, man. I filed a grievance all the way. They was like, let it go. Nope, I ain't let nothing go.
Yeah.
I want a written apology, and and you know, the one as a police officer, I filed because I was, you know, I was actually in, where was that? I was going to see my wife, and I was in Bladenboro.
Okay.
And the officer I had a BMW, I had a white BMW there. Place had bad boy on the back. And I went through the town of Bladenboro, shortcut. When I say he pulled me over, he didn't say, he said, get out the car now. Get out the car now. I'm like,
and that's what we see on TV and movies and situations like that. So yeah, keep going, because I think that keep going. What happened?
He said get out the car now, and I'm like, hold on, sir. What's you know, because I'm fresh. You know, I've been in law enforcement 2 or 3 years, so I'm cocky. I'm feeling myself like, what? Get out the car. What you mean? What procedure that is? I proceeded to get out the car, and he quickly turned me around, put handcuffs on me. Quick,
Just like
not
that.
even just like that off the gate. And I'm like, I knew my instinct was to resist, but I knew if I would resist, I knew something.
It would have been bad.
You know, pop off.
You think it would have been?
It would have been bad, but oh yeah, because even after he found out I was a cop, and his backup came, which was his supervisor, he still was a little hesitant.
Okay.
About me and the bad. So, like I tell people, a lot of people like, Billy, what you gonna do, fellow? Let's be honest. Some officers we ain't all. You in a fraternity, you know. I'm sure you ain't all cool with every frat brother you meet. Some of us police officers ain't cool.
Yeah.
You know, in that situation, so I was like, nah. His captain called. His captain called me. I said, nah, I want to file a complaint. Come to think about it, I was the complaint that had volume because people were complaining
Before,
but it was just building a case, you know. And he was like, and I'm like, if he's building a case, he should no longer carry that bag.
yeah. So
And with
so two things I'm
mhm,
hearing from. I think one thing that you said that's real important, because I think a lot of people ask, what do they do when they get stopped in the middle of nowhere in the dark? It's them,
mhm,
police officer, and I think most would have, in my head, I think I would have thought you would have resisted or said something to defend yourself, but I think you said something that really surprised me, which was you just you went along with the program. I mean, what?
I tell people you're not gonna win.
Yeah,
That's why you had a court system for Thomas. You're not gonna win inside the road. When I mean inside the road, because at that point, we as law enforcement has the upper hand.
yeah,
I like I say, we got one of the powerfulest tools we carry with us every day. It's a cell phone. You can Google any law from here to California. You can know, like they say all over, say agents of the law is not an excuse. It's not an excuse now because you can Google who is this person, who is internal affairs, who is this. Some agencies have to put their policies online
yeah,
for the public to read.
yeah,
So you also have a camera phone. This happened 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s until Rodney King. We never saw this. We heard about it. We didn't know. You couldn't be in Atlanta, Georgia, and knowing what's going on in Birmingham, Alabama, unless CBS, or NBC broadcast it. Now, it's the click.
yeah.
It's a click. I tell people, don't side the road. Don't go to court side the road. Don't argue side the road. This. If you think you're treating it fairly, this. Push record on your phone.
Okay.
You can hold the phone. Push record, hold it down. You don't have to have it up to somebody's face or anything like that. I used to love people to record me because I used to be like, hey, tag me. I used to be like, hey, tag me, make sure. Because I knew I'm like, tag me. That's me. You know, that's me, Thomas. That's me. I'm like, tag me in it. My Instagram feed is your favorite 12. Is your favorite, now it's favorite 12, but it's XII.
Yeah.
Because some people don't know what Roman numerals are. So but that's me though.
Okay.
But I'm saying don't argue side the road. Document it. When you pull off from that stop, you get on voice record and you reenact the scenes that happened.
Yeah.
So then you take those same scenes when you get home, you type up an email, CC the chief, public relations, and everybody. It's documentation.
So in other words, in a situation like that, the police officers can't take your phone if you pull it out during a stop situation. They can't take your phone. Can they do that or?
No. What constitutes them taking the phone? What a cell phone is a threat? Now,
Okay.
if you're in a dark area and you pulling out your phone, that's an officer safety issue because I don't know you pull out your phone, Thomas.
Okay.
So I tell people in a stop or something, hit record. You don't even have to have, because 9 times out of 10 agencies now have body cameras.
Mm-hmm.
And you can hit record. You can say the officer was wearing a body camera. People review that footage now. Trust me, they review that footage.
Yeah.
Go back to the footage. I mean, go back to it. Go back to the footage. Go back and see and ask. What happened. Follow up. That's the key. Follow up. We don't follow up.
Okay. All right. So I mean, yeah. So I think it's good that you gave your own personal experience on being stopped again. Because I think a lot of times, some videos that I've seen, there is a resistance situation of, there's a back and forth. There's the phone. There's the back and forth. There's the physical back and forth. There's the verbal back and forth. So that hear an actual police officer say he's been stopped by another cop and just went along with, let me just be clear.
Yeah.
I think that's important for people to hear. I mean, do you think there's ever a time where somebody should resist? I mean, as you said, you all have the upper hand by carrying a gun, a weapon. Do you ever think there's a time where somebody should be resistant physically or verbally? Because again, as you've seen in videos, there's a constant back and forth. and then somebody, the more, the more a regular person like me feels like it's just so unfair, it's so unfair, it's so unfair, they get more wound up and more wound up and more wound up. Is there every situation where it's justified? Or do you, or again, you stick with the same
It's
stance of just be
it's
cool?
it's some cases where I seen. But okay, let's go back. Let's go back to this situation right here in Minnesota. Right? When did this happen?
This happened last night.
Okay, if no one had that footage, I don't know if they were body cams. They should because they're a big police department.
Yeah.
If no one, let's say it was nighttime, nobody was around. We have seen no. Let's take that. Charleston, South Carolina. Was that Charleston, Somerville? That was South Carolina, where we saw the guy running away, cop shot him, and put the taser beside him, right?
Yeah.
That was the situation. If that person wasn't recording, that officer still be working today.
Oh wow.
Because if the officer's word against somebody dead.
Okay.
I mean, if the officer's word against somebody dead, and call it if it was Charleston, South Carolina. It was Charleston. It was Charleston. That situation, I put something on my when I saw that, I'm like, because before that footage came out, I was like, well, Walter Scott, you're correct. When that footage came out, I was like, well, if he was going for his taser, that's justified because if he pulled his taser, he can shoot me with the taser. If to do me, take my weapon, kill me, or go kill somebody else, that's justified shooting.
Yeah.
But when I seen Walter Scott didn't do none of that, that tore me up. I mean, I see a question. Go ahead.
All right. So yeah. So if everybody watching, again, this is Lieutenant Billy Boyd on here. And we're talking about the situation in Minneapolis. And we're just having a dialogue where Billy's kind of just giving his advice as a police officer, as an African American male on things we can do to kind of stop the police brutality and what's going on, and kind of give some insight about what he sees on the other side. And hopefully, this conversation creates some type of hope, some type of light for everybody to use to realize that, things can get better. I don't know the perfect solution. Billy's admitted he doesn't know the perfect solution. I think just having this conversation helps. And I hope that everybody watching gets something to take back to your individual families. But if you have questions, by all means, click, type in the questions, and me and Billy will get to them. But the first question that we have, Billy, is can you tell us about any laws that allow cops not to be held accountable? Are there any laws that allow cops not to be held accountable? Where they're able to get off and not, in a situation like with Minnesota, if there was no, let's say if there was no video, but people saw it, they reported it. Is there something that would have allowed them to, get off with this situation?
Just witnesses cooperation, because we all know the court system, man. And I know I used to get frustrated too, because everything continue. So I think if there was no footage at all and a bunch of people went to the police station and said this happened,
yeah,
a turn of affairs investigation will happen.
Yeah.
So if those school officers going there was like, nah, we don't think autopsy, they're gonna do an autopsy, they're gonna see, nah, he was combative, this, they're gonna see if the gentleman had any previous conditions, heart murmur or something, of that nature, and they will investigate it. But how many times have you ever been to court that way?
No, I mean,
I'm not to put you on the spot. I'm just saying that in law enforcement, we get frustrated when we got it's continue. Can you imagine a witness that's have to depend is check by check.
Yeah.
Every time you go to something, there's a continuous. After a while, they're gonna be like, hell, I ain't going no more. It is what it is.
Yeah.
It ain't me. It ain't nobody I love. So I think that's one. There's nothing, every police agency to me, I think investigated. It's just the evidence.
Okay. So Ed is,
And it's
yeah. I feel what you're saying. Yeah, I definitely understand what you're saying. I think you mentioned earlier about you've heard kind of some bad talk officers, kind of some unfair talk that you heard officers say. And I think Ed just asked the question, do officers hold each other accountable? Or for the most part, do they cover up for each other?
Oh, I ain't covering up nobody.
Okay. Do you see others doing that, or is it, or was that, it just varies based on where you at?
Have I seen it? No, but it's out there, yes.
Okay.
But I think now, I'm gonna tell you now, reasonable officers who now they not. If I see it, oh nah, I'm sorry. Call me what you want to call me, but I can't go to jail or lose my career for a mistake that you made.
Yeah.
Now I'm just as guilty if I'm there and don't try to prevent that mistake. Let's get that, But I'm not seeing. I truly believe that just for me. I'm not seeing these chiefs of police and these lieutenants not going to risk their high-paying salary for a mistake Dr. White made.
Yeah.
Now we're seeing police departments charging folks, firing folks, and holding them more accountable. We're seeing that now. Back then, now we ain't gonna see that. I mean,
yeah. I was actually surprised by how fast the mayor put out that notice that they got fired. Like, I mean, I was happy, but I was surprised. I mean, I honestly didn't think it was gonna happen that fast, but I think that's a good sign of progress. The fact that whether it was because of the video, the news, whatever, either way it goes, the fact that it was a quick response just like that, I think that's a good step in the right direction.
you know what he thought about, right?
Yeah.
Everybody saw this. But one, because of the coronavirus, he got cabin fever. He didn't want his town to burn. He didn't want his town to loot. Let's be real. You told me to keep it real. Anything I say up here is opinions of me, not my agency I work for. It's Billy Boyd. Okay?
On an unofficial capacity.
yeah, I'm not
an expert, but in his own capacity, yes.
I say this, and I was raised by somebody I call my grandfather. That he took me and raised me, and he always said this, and he was a big stickler for protesting, marching, and this and that.
Yeah.
He said times are changing. We have to hit them where it hurts, and I'm talking about them. I'm talking about the people that write bills and laws and this and that. Is because we have to say burning up. I'm gonna give North Carolina for example. We had a situation in Charlotte. A lot of people protest. They burnt some stuff. They vandalized some buildings. The only thing it is raising up property tax because we're gonna get out taxpayer money. They damage some police cars. But let's look at when North Carolina passed this crazy law about the LGBT community, right?
Yeah.
What happened when All-Star Weekend went away? The CIAA.
Sure.
And this is when they started talking about this. They said, "Oh, we got to change this." When the PGA Tour and the LPGA Tour golf was about to come out of North Carolina.
Yeah.
And NASCAR. Let's change this law. It's about money now, Thomas. It's about Dr. White. I'm sorry. It's about money now. It's about when we get these. It's about money, the economic. To me, because I see things change in society when it's dealing with money. They about to reopen America. You know why? Because we're going bankrupt.
Yeah. Good talk. Good talk.
It is what it is. I mean,
Good talk. Yes, yeah.
It don't matter. It don't matter who in office right now. We hurting money wise. Let's get the economy back pumping. But yeah, but let's go back to it. But like Ed said, we talk about it, but you gotta we honestly we talk about it in our subgroups.
Yeah.
We talk about it in our subgroups, and a lot of officers hit me up and ask me my opinion because they know I don't care what you think me doing. You know?
Yeah. So in a situation in the past, we've seen videos where, if an incident like this happens, and the one of the defenses that a cop will give is, "I fear for my life." Is that a defense you all can give, or is that something those particular cops said? Is that something you all can say?
Yes, it has to be justified though.
Okay.
It has to be justified. It has to be. We can say that, but it's backing to that. You can say, "I fear for my life." A 3-year-old can come punch you. "I fear for my life." Now, it has to be. It's grounds for to say, "Well, okay, let's see what's going on." I go and I answer a burglar alarm. I go in the house. I see somebody run from me. I pursue. They turn around. An object comes out their waistband. Pop, pop.
Yeah.
I fear for my life.
Yeah.
I can go there.
Yeah.
I had to take folks before. When you get that fight or flight, and we do that as officers, and I think now we are more what I call we have the hot watches about the situations we just encounter, and you got to have merit to it, man. You can't. With me as a supervisor, I used to hold my people accountable 100%. Now, if I think that you didn't do it out of malice, had malice intent behind it, that's why we have training. We just talk about this. But if I think you did just to me, I had to put pen to paper.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And just so everybody.
And I know a lot of officers that do that. I know a lot of officers that do that.
Yeah.
I have a lot of officers that's a DPD that I look at law enforcement mentors.
Yeah.
I mean, we have that Durham County Sheriff, Wake County Sheriff. We have that dialect, and I mean, can I say it's getting better? No, but we are. I got to brag on her. She's one of the best recruiters I ever seen. I have a recruiting person in my department. She's worked in Georgia Police Department, everything.
Yeah.
She's screening these people. That's what we need, but we need police officers. And honestly, sometimes we see signs early. We just need bodies on the street. We need bodies to fill holes, gaps, positions.
Okay.
But I mean, that's the big agencies. I mean.
Okay. So I just want to remind everybody, along with Billy, Antonio was going to be on this live too, but live only allows 2 of us to be on at the same time. So Antonio, there's going to be a part 2, but Antonio is in the comments. He's another police officer here in the DMV area in DC. So if anybody has questions, he and Billy are, we're going to take questions from everybody if you have a question, but Antonio is also reading the comments too, and you may see him commenting. So by all means, send in your questions, and we're going to try to get to them. But another question for you, Billy, was, so I think you talked about another thing that you noted was sometimes you just got some cops that are just not right in the head. Do you all get some type of psychological testing on a consistent basis?
For us, as the standard is, when you first get hired, every new officer. This is North Carolina. I don't know other agencies. They have the budget too now. That's talk about the funding too. That's another thing. Why I say about funding. But when we first come in law enforcement, we do have to take a psych test. Some agencies make you take a psych test when you transfer from another agency. But 9 times out of 10, if I didn't have to take one for my previous job because I took one. I took one when I first got in law enforcement.
Yeah.
So they have previous to that. So we do take psych tests. Now, some situations that if we involved in an officer involved shooting, they may give you a psych test. They may give you, go, to talk to somebody or anything like that. But you got to realize, man, a lot of cops, even me on the college level, I saw a lot of shootings. I saw a lot of. I remember one, that I seen that is still haunted to the day because I knew the person.
Yeah.
And you looking at a lot of cops that do have PTSD.
Yeah.
I mean, is their department giving that outlet, or they don't want nobody to know, or you maybe consider that soft cop that this and this. I mean, those days, like I said again, those days in the war stories are over.
Yeah.
They're over. I mean, law enforcement has shifted
big time.
Big time.
Big time. So again, so just to be clear with everybody, Billy, there's no one. There are different situations in different states and with different police departments. You got some good, you some bad in different places. So it's not just this nationwide, countrywide thing where it's just all police officers. There's this big problem everywhere. It just varies, right? That correct statement?
It varies, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So somebody just asked another comment, and you talked about it earlier. Was they made a comment about we should raise more Black cops, and I think you said something real important earlier, which was you said that you tried to get minorities in, and it's not easy. So speak to that a little bit.
Not easy. It's not easy because let's be honest, Thomas. You got a PhD. I know that had to be hard.
Absolutely.
I know it had to be hard. You probably seen where you had a relative that probably did 20 years in jail or 10 years, big festival, big cookout, big this and that.
Yeah.
What would Thomas cookout at? You probably had one. I'm just saying, like I know officers who we taught, man, Billy, I graduated police academy. My family just said congratulations, but I had a cousin here did 5-10 years for a crime. He had a fish fry cookout.
Wow.
He was like, what logic is that? What logic is that? I mean, I like to recruit by using social media to where it is fun being police.
Yeah.
You do have some good times, and you do have some times where it is exciting, but you have to. I read something where this agency, they're trying to only get people who at least had a military, college, or something, because they've been around diversity of people. And I think that's the number one thing. And I know the ability training we have, basic law enforcement training, we have that diversity training. You gotta have diversity training. You gotta have it. You gotta have. You gotta have it. We can't just focus on firearms, shoot drills. We can't focus on that. We have to focus on other issues too.
Okay.
Your fat brother had a good one. Hold on.
Was it Andre?
Yes, he is. Oh, man. I have a buddy. I'm not gonna call his name. He's a police officer too. He's Caucasian. He said something to me that I was like, bro, I never thought about it. He said, Billy, when I was growing up, my mom and dad would tell us to go in the back of the shed and drink, or if we smoke marijuana, don't leave the yard. He said, in the African American community, I'm saying, you can't play around your mama house. So what we do, we get in the car, we go smoke, we go drink, and we get stopped. Everybody get an M on their report card, a misdemeanor.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he was like, he said, you can't tell me that African Americans do more drugs than cocaine. He's like, no. He said, I have learned that. And I'm thinking like, nah, you couldn't do that now. You had, and then our youth advertise it, get an M or something on their report card. When I say M, like a misdemeanor or felony on their report card, then the application is weeded out. I mean,
all right. So in other words, again, you try to get black cops onto the force, but it's not easy to do. And I think Andre said something because you all do a credit check when bringing in police officers. Is that true? Y'all do credit checks?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Some agencies, but see, we don't go like you can fluctuate the credit. Sally may got a lot of people hand up. She's one of them. But credit sometimes you can wing that. You can justify credit.
Okay.
You can justify credit. I can't justify that possession of marijuana charge. And now I tell people that's a lawyer. I got a good friend that's a lawyer. And he bought something like to me I never thought. He said, Billy, you know what? There's no such thing as expungement anymore on your record. I'm like, what? He said, just say you go shoplifting and they write you a little ticket. And he said, now people are posting slammer. That stuff is public record. So if somebody Google your name,
it's there.
It's there. Now you used to be like, okay, I messed up when I was young. In college, I messed up.
Yeah.
I got it expunged. That'll work for us, counter, because we don't have Google where they put the list on a website. Like back home in South Carolina, sometimes I go look at J. Rubalon's website to see who went to jail.
Yeah.
You can look people, okay, I made a mistake, driving without a license, driving my license revoked or suspended.
Yeah.
All that stuff is public knowledge now because of the internet. So it's hard to get it expunged because he said people just can Google your name.
Yeah. True.
I mean, people don't think about that. Like, you get in trouble. Oh, I can get that expunged. Nah, you get it.
It's not that easy.
You got Jay-Z and Beyonce money. You can't call the internet and get that. You can't get that taken off. I'm just being real, man. And now, do y'all got the slammer in South Carolina?
Do we have the what now?
The slammer.
Said the slammer?
Yeah. Where they take your picture. George with a crime and mugshot. They will post your picture in the newspaper. You can buy it on Bookmark.
I hadn't seen that. I hadn't seen that up here in Maryland, in DMV. I don't know if Antonio can speak to that. I haven't seen that, but and I'm not in South Carolina right now, so I have no idea. I've never seen that. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's all public knowledge, man. Yeah. I can keep talking for days, but go ahead. Go on with the question.
All right. So the next question is with the Minneapolis situation, what training should happen, or what do you think will happen? Now that this situation has gotten so big, what do you think is going to happen as far as the police officers who still work there? What do you think is going to happen?
I'm sure they're going to have a lot of diversity training. I'm sure they're going to have a lot of this going to haunt them, because now I'm gonna be honest with you. It's you're gonna have somebody gonna try to prove a point against the police. It's gonna make it hard. This situation is gonna make it hard for the good cops to Minneapolis and around the world. Let's get it around the world, because me walking in the store in uniform, I seen somebody. They went up to me, hands up, don't shoot. You don't even know me, bro.
Yeah.
You just see the uniform. A lot of people hate the uniform. They don't want to get know the person.
Yeah.
They hate the uniform. And that's what some cops. I tell some cops, don't get. They're not really hating you per se. They hate the uniform.
Okay. Okay.
Because Dr. White, we got some bad teachers out there. These teachers are sleeping with these kids. We can't say all teachers are bad. You know, we can't say a pilot that gets caught drinking or drunk flying a plane. We can't say all pilots are bad.
Yeah.
But I feel we got to wear that. We have to wear that.
Okay.
You know, we have to learn to wear that.
Okay. So some people say they can't hear you. It's not a lot of people, but I can hear you fine, Billy. I can hear you fine. So you know, I mean, if we start getting a lot, you know, we'll work it out. But you know, we don't want to ruin the video because we don't want to ruin a good thing because you know we had a lot of problems.
Can you hear me now?
Let's see. I hope like that ever be about. So, and I think yeah, I can hear you. So I think you said something earlier, Billy, just to remind everybody. So the situation in Minneapolis where the guy had his knee on his neck, that's not something police officers are trained to do, right? They're not trained to do that.
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. Going back to the Eric Garner situation where, you know, it was a similar I can't breathe situation. Was that police training or was that also, again, excessive force?
Well, see, with that one, I did see a method you used, a two-man method, but it was more. I think with the Eric Garner, it should have been the high-low, meaning some people grab a seat and somebody hold him, but he was up too high where he was really choking him.
Okay.
He was choking.
Okay.
I mean, he was choking. Now, while he had him in that chokehold, somebody else should have transitioned and probably held his head down to where he's not really moving and get off his neck. And that's when another officer get one hand, cuff him, get the other hand and cuff him, and go from there. I just think that he every time he was trying to move, the guy was tightening up.
Okay.
And like I said, I go back to this Rudy Kubi time plan. There's been a situation where we were praying, I'm like, somebody got somebody, hey, but look, you really applying pressure. That's how I feel.
Yeah. So in other words, so with the Eric Garner situation in particular, there was a time where the chokehold should have been released, or it should have been, you know, loosen up, let it go, loosen up a little bit.
Yeah. And I think he didn't. Nah. I said this is my opinion. I know some people don't know. When he went high and everybody went low, he was a big dude. Yeah, he probably was moving, but he was moving because he couldn't, because they should have immediately stood him up. That's true. Somebody, that's what I was reading, I'm sorry. But it should have been a transition where he let go because I feel enough people was on top.
Yeah.
Or sometimes you get up, revert back to, you know, a taser.
Yeah.
Or something. I mean, it's that. Yeah. I mean, but I'm privy to have that training, so I can't speak for those officers. They should have it. Like I said, you know, we focus on firearms and this and that to transitional tactical moves.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I know we're running low on time, so you know we'll take one more question from people down in the comments. But another question I have for you, Billy. So I think you mentioned about again some officers having PTSD. You know, what do you recommend to officers who do have PTSD that, you know, maybe watching or maybe watching this right now? What do you say to police officers who you know have PTSD and there could be a potential situation where it could result in something like what we saw in Minneapolis? What do you say? Do you say anything?
Go ask for help. Go ask for Department of Health. Go ask to talk to somebody that's a professional.
Yeah.
I mean, talk, seek help. I mean, I'll be the first to say I had a little trouble communicating too. You know, it's just one of those things that, you know, you as a police officer. Hold on, he said. Start the solution and ask for help. Yeah. I mean, we just gotta, as a police officer, we just gotta make it. Like I tell some of the cadets, it started there because when I was told, when I came in 2005, it was like, just write it out.
Yeah.
Just write it out. You have a 12-hour shift. You see this. I used to go work out to relieve stress. We have to find stress relievers. We have to talk to people. We have to talk to other officers. We have to have dialogue because it's not saying you're a weak officer. It's saying that you need to talk to somebody. Every other profession talks to somebody.
Okay. All right.
Somebody made a good point.
Yeah. So a couple.
Antonio made a good point where no one can money more than quarterback. You're right, Antonio, because I've been in situations where people probably say, "Boy, you was wrong," but it's like we say, it's what I see, and it's like even with the money more than quarterbacking, it's like.
So what is Billy? What is Monday quarterback? What is that?
Oh, Monday morning quarterback. That's like saying that what we see, like this situation here, we wasn't in the officer's shoes, so Monday morning quarterback is a phrase we use where the game is on Sunday. We don't know what Tom Brady or Cam Newton is doing, but we see the highlights and we say he should have did this, he should have did this, he should have did this.
Oh, okay.
So that's like Monday morning quarterback, and we see that a lot in our profession.
Okay.
We see that a lot. Until you win those officer shoes, but sometimes I'm sorry, it ain't Monday morning quarterback. It's lack of training and lack of composure of the officer.
That's real talk. That's real talk. All right. So I know live is going to wrap everything up, but some points that we hit on this live. Number one, Billy, you said people should, if something happens, they should report it. Black, African Americans, if you see a situation, by all means, report it. I mean, I think we hear a lot of, it's no good, it's no use, but I think Billy said something. As a Black police professional, report it. Don't let it go. Keep taking it up higher and higher and higher. That's one of the points Billy hit on. Number two, it's not normal for police to put their knee on your neck and hold it there. Put their knee and hold it there. That's not police training. All cops are not bad cops. There are some good cops.
We're not.
Like Billy. And another thing, not all there's a thing that people may think white cops are the enemy, and I don't think that's true. And I'm Billy. I'm sure you know some good white cops.
I know some that I will go to bat for, like great guys that it's just every profession, every race have bad apples, bro.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right. So in closing, Billy, what would you say to, again, the Black father, the Black mother, when they send their kids out, when they're telling their young son, don't put on a hoodie. Take your hood off when you go outside. Me, myself, I think that's, I understand the fear to say that, but I think that's counterproductive, the fact that you have to tell your child to take off the hood just to go outside. What do you say to those families to kind of alleviate that fear, or kind of give them some type of hope on how to deal with, kind of counseling their kids when they go out into the world? What do you say?
Well, for mine, because my 14-year-old son, he feels like he's 18 years old. And, me and him have these social talks all the time. I'm like, son, I'll be honest. I'm like, I don't let him ride and 3 or 4 people in the car. It's bad to say, but I just have those talks that everybody's not friendly like that. Everybody don't. Some people do see your skin color as a threat. Some people, don't understand why you got your hair the way you have it, or the clothes like you like to wear it. So you have to take in mind that I tell parents all the time, just love them. I mean, just talk to them.
Yeah.
Don't be shy about issues that's going on in America. I mean, talk about issues. My wife have great conversations with my kids about the COVID-19. My twins, they're 9. They know. I mean, we have to stop hiding stuff from them. We have to stop because we we as a cultural race, we try to teach our kids that everybody is good. Not everybody is not good. Everybody don't. Some people see your color, gender as a target.
Yeah.
So when you go out, just, you have cell phones. I mean, people are recording more. Like I said, documentation. I was always taught if it's not in black and white, it didn't exist.
Yeah.
So I mean, and like me and you talk all the time, and I talk, I end up dialogue with a lot of people. It's we just have to bring these issues. And when I tell people voting is important, when I say voting is important,
Glad you said that.
the police department, chief or whoever, they answer to somebody. Most likely it's the city or town manager. That's when you see, you raise, you have questions, you go to a town council meeting.
Yeah.
People probably don't do that. You know, you go to, you look at, you know, what's going on in the Senate and the House.
Yeah.
We so, you know, sometimes we so fixed on the presidential election, we
yeah.
gotta look at the laws that were made by the Senate and the House.
Fact.
Yeah, that's the real. I mean,
super.
We gonna vote for the president. That's it. Nah, you gotta start. You gotta get the town elections. You gotta get, you know, government. I mean,
in other areas besides the presidency. Thank you. Super.
Yes.
Yes.
So until then, until we, I mean, I tell folks, you know, you gotta, because now you can look up DC's chief of police,
yeah,
or town council, and you can email them. Back then you couldn't do that.
Yeah.
So I mean, I know you're gonna wrap up and talk to Antonio, but I mean, I tell people, please, not all of us are bad. Some of us do love our job. We got in the job to help others. We got out in the job to protect others. I mean, don't see one bad. Like I said, it's tons. I have seen officers in my profession, from Octavius Benefiel to a Caldwell to a Rainer, somebody, give money to somebody in need. Okay, I have given money, okay, to somebody in need. I have seen officers, I forgot his name, but DPD, Durham police officer. He asked me, he said, y'all got any old bikes? He asked me, I said, yeah. He said, man, it's the family. I'm going to fix up the bike and I'm going to give it to him for Christmas.
Yeah.
We do, it's tons of things, but we always, our society like negativity. Dr. White, you could do 100 great things for the community. That one thing you do, oh my God. Oh, because forever. Yeah. And we live by the court of public opinion.
That's facts. That's super facts.
So,
B,
I mean,
you're a good brother.
I mean, I try to, man.
I think you've said a lot on here. I think you, again, like you said, there's no one quick fix. None of us have the perfect solution. I think you being a police officer and being willing to come on here and have a conversation, you know, where we can talk about what happened, talk about what's going on, and let people hear it, let people ask questions. I think that's a start. I don't know the answer, but I appreciate you. You know, I know you're a good brother. Keep up the good work. I see the stuff that you're doing out there in the community. I see the kids that come around you, and again, I think we can just be individual sparks, and hopefully that changes the world. I mean, that's important.
I appreciate you, man.
So
I appreciate you, man.
So by all means, everybody watching, please share this with those you know, talking about the situation in Minneapolis, Black families. If you haven't talked with your kids, by all means, please use this conversation Bill and I had, hopefully to educate yourself, educate your families, and just stay safe. Again, there's no one quick fix, but hopefully if we keep having conversations like this, hopefully we can continue to keep getting better and better and better. So, we'll be having part 2 to this conversation where I have Antonio. He'll come on and, he works for DC police, so he'll be able to give his take. But again, Billy, much salute to you, brother. Keep up the good work and
I appreciate you, man.
don't ever stop.
Hey, we can have more of these, man. I'm here for it. I want to raise awareness. I want more cops that think, like me or some of my friends that I know. But it's one of those things, man, where like we got to pray sometimes.
Yeah.
We have to pray sometimes. But thank you so much. That's it, man.
That's it. Be easy, stay safe over there. You and the family. Give my love to the wife, the kids, and everybody else over there. Y'all stay safe, and like I said, we're gonna do this again because I appreciate you.
All right.
All right, big. All right. Take care, everybody.